when the prodigal son, it's a wonderful phrase the way we translate it. He came to himself. And he remembered his home place and he remembered his father. But that means that until that moment in the story, he had been talked out of himself. He had forgotten who he was. He had forgotten where he belonged. He had forgotten the name of his father. And I would say that's the work of the Spirit. He came to himself and he remembered his place and he went there. Without understanding any more about what that parable might be about, it's a very complex parable. That's enough. Martin Buber, the great Jewish philosopher, wrote that the modern mind, since the Enlightenment, is a homeless mind. So that we are here and there, but we are nowhere rooted and belonging. And so it is that sense of belonging, being known by name, being safe, being safe enough to choose futures. All of that, it seems to me, is connected with home. Yeah.
And so how do you rearrange that? You start with place, but you get to belonging. How do you start somewhere in your head, or do you start in a soil, or?
Well, I don't know how to think about that. I am guided much by Wendell Berry, whose accent very much is on being in a place and caring for that place and making that place more fruitful and more abundant.
And what is evangelical about that, or have to do with the gospel?
Well, it is the news. I think it is the news that God intends everyone to have a safe place of viability. Now, the one implication of that is that we have to work at housing for people who can't afford housing. The other side of it is that when some of us have too much place, too extravagant a place, too expansive a place, we are robbing our neighbors of a place for them. So there is no doubt that extravagant wealth is premised on the displacement of poorly paid people.
Land ownership is sin. I thought that was how the Christian nation was built. I thought it was Christian-y.
So right here in Traverse City, which is a very affluent neighborhood filled with tourism, we have many, many trailer parks where the people live who are paid poor wages to help us have that downtown. It's a perfect embodiment of that trickiness about finding a place. I don't think that trailer parks are bad. Some of them look to me to be very well cared for and very well kept, and they're probably very comfortable, safe places to live. But you can see the point. Some of them are very run down and shabby and uncared for and all that. So I think that's particularly a part of the Old Testament of belonging in a place is really crucial. And even the exiles who were deported away to Babylon didn't forget their place, and they knew where they belonged. They knew where they were named and honored and valued and all that. But our commodity system intentionally displaces people, and the great accent on mobility, even for moneyed people, tends to fly against that. So that some of the most mobile people who may be making a lot of money in fact, do not have a chance to practice citizenship anywhere.
And what does that not grow? Or
Well,
how does that keep a person from being a creature?
Yeah, you can't be fully a creature, I think, if you're not signed on for those responsibilities.
What's the role of the church, of the body, in regards to like place?
Well, I think that at the most elemental level, it is continue to remind us that placeless people are neighbors who need a place in the community. Then you work at policies.
To be a citizen, and citizenship the church should be about discipleship and citizen making?
Yes, exactly so. Exactly.
I didn't see that in the Bible, but I'll read it again,
Yeah,
I guess.
it's there.
You have mentioned a lot of the New Testament. I thought you just read the Old. You read the New.
I peek over the mountain and take a look at it from time to time.